Welcome to the Wizards 3 podcast. I'm Macklin.
Oh, sorry, I'm Aiden.
And I'm Sawyer. See, I got right in there quick so that I couldn't get, so we can all make fun of Aiden and not me because I was waiting for my cue, and as soon as I got my cue, I hit it.
Good job, Sawyer. Welcome to or welcome back to, depending on your loyalty to the podcast. For those new here, we're just three friends who like to talk about stuff and things and stuff. How's everyone doing today?
Sometimes we also like to fist fight.
Guys, stop fake fist fighting.
No, that was real.
Yes,
Whatever.
because
The one person that can actually see it.
The two of you can also see it.
No, I can't see it.
From a more outside perspective.
You guys also
See, Macklin just punched me in the face.
You guys' punching noises are like, pew.
I went.
Macklin's punch noise was like, pew.
His first one was like a whip
Zap.
crack. Bang!
Holy shit.
How is everyone doing today, though?
Chilling, killing. Living the dream.
Yeah, nice. Well then, show. What's that face for? Chilling, killing, living the dream. All right, get into news then.
Yeah, let's get straight into the news.
All right, am I going first?
Might as well.
All right, so
your name's alphabetical first. So.
All right, so I don't really have much news other than just what's coming out this week for video games. So Indiana Jones and the Great Circle releases. Oh, it released yesterday? No, next week Monday for us. But 2 days ago for when you're listening to this. I forgot how time works. So I'll just read you the little
linearly to us. That's how time works.
blurb that it says on the Steam website with a little thing that I added in just because it makes a bit more sense. It says, uncover one of history's greatest mysteries in a first-person single-player adventure. The year is 1937. Sinister forces are scouring the globe for the secret. What do you need?
I'm okay. 'Cause history and mystery are very similar, and I'm just saying them. Don't let me do my thing over here. I'm
You're
not
always
bothering
whispering
anyone.
over us. Okay.
I'm whispering under you. That's the whole point of a whisper.
Sinister forces are scouring the globe for the secret to an ancient power connected to the Great Circle, a line that connects ancient and spiritual locations around the world. And only one person can stop them, Indiana Jones.
This guy named Steve.
As a child,
so
I yearn for the minds.
Upcoming action adventure developed by Machine Games and published by Bethesda. It's based on the Indiana Jones. Would you ever guess that?
No fucking way.
And it's set between the events of Raiders of the Lost Ark and The Last Crusade. So I think that's pretty neat.
I always forget that. What's this like? Temple of Doom is set before Raiders.
of the Lost Ark. Oh, that's true.
So I was like, isn't there a... Nope, never mind.
So the game is set between the two best Indiana Jones movies.
Sure.
Okay.
I don't know, guys. Dial of Destiny's right there.
Nah.
Hey, it's as good as I can dream. I've never seen it.
It's very.
I have.
It's very mediocre.
Yeah.
The best part of it is 20 minutes in when Indiana Jones punches a Nazi.
Did I have fun? Yeah. Am I ever going to watch it again on purpose? No.
Does that mean that like accidentally you're just gonna like trip and just like shit? Indiana Jones is on again.
Walk into the living room and my parents are watching it, I'm not going to say, "Hey, can we watch something else?" I'll just be like, "All right, I'll watch it."
Who the hell would walk into their parents in the middle of watching something and be like, "Hey guys, can we watch something else?"
Me. No, I wouldn't do that.
I'm like, if they're in the middle of watching something, I'm like, I'm not gonna join midway through. I gotta watch the whole thing. Yeah. So I just walk away.
Yeah. If it's like the start of a movie, I'll maybe watch it. But if it's like something that's like, oh, it's this, I'm like, I'm good. And I just either sit down in the living room on my phone or read a book or go do something else.
Whatever, nerd. Reading books.
Hey, I got a copy of Firestarter, and I'm very happy about that.
I know I was there.
That's true, you were. Anyway.
That's all I got to say. Macklin has some news. Do you want to say what it is?
Muffin. It's nothing. It says, he spelt it muffin, but with an N. That's why I thought it said muffin.
It says nothing. Nothing.
Well, I realized that now, and I also realized that you said it earlier. It was nothing.
I did, actually. Yeah. That's true. You could have had a clue with that.
Okay, my
So would you like
turn. My
news?
turn. Before I get into my news, I'm just gonna go through some of the comics releasing this week. When it comes to number ones, There's a few. There's the Ultimate Universe 1 Year In, which is a one shot. In case you weren't aware, all of the Ultimate Universe titles take place they release once a month, and then they all take place in that month, and so there's like a ticking time thing for when the character, the maker, is coming. So like if you watch,
that's kind of cool. I didn't realize that.
Like at the start of each, like I'm like specifically the Ultimate Spider-Man series, it's like the most recent issue was in November, so it says November, and then it starts going in.
Yeah, because it does that in the Ultimates too, but it's like it's like 12 months until the maker is released. So it's a one shot. It's sort of where everything's at. The Dennis Camp, the guy that writes Ultimates, is writing it, so it's pretty exciting. The first issue of Laura Kinney Wolverine is out. It's Erica Schultz writing. I'm not sure the writer or the artist, but I'm pretty excited for it. I'm a big fan of Laura. I mean, you know her as X-23, but I mean, her run on as Wolverine, as the all-new Wolverine, is really, really great. That's like I think it was Tom Taylor that wrote that. I think. I know it was. So I'm pretty excited about that. Just preface it with "I think," just in case you're wrong.
But I'm not. Erica Schultz is also the person that has been writing all of the titles that Elektra as Daredevil, like Daredevil Woman Without Fear, all of those series, and they're very good. I'm sure you guys will hear me talk about the Red Band series that Elektra has next year. Anyways, there's a new Batman series, big surprise, called Dark Patterns, which seems like a more detective thing. I think it's Dan Waters writing it. I'm not exactly sure, though the cover is really, really striking. It's like the Batman. It's the Bat logo, but it's really
striking. It's an image.
It's fucking Batman, dude. I don't know what to tell you, but it looks cool. There's also the Superwoman special, which is basically going to explain how Lois Lane got superpowers and is now Superwoman. Spoilers, I guess, if you're not reading the current Superman series, you should be. It's wonderful.
I bought a copy of that because you recommended it. I'm pretty sure, yeah. It was good.
Number 19 you bought. Yeah, so...
really picks up at 19.
Well, hey, it picks up at issue 1. It's just that issue 19 was a jumping on point because of All In. So... huge recommendation for the Superman series. I'm sure that this will be written by Joshua Williamson as well. He's the main writer on the series. And then the last number 1 this week is Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, which is a prequel to the show of the same name, which is releasing in February. Lots of animated shows do this now. My Adventures of Superman had a comic a few months ago. Yeah, so I don't know. I doubt I'll check it out. I don't think it's like required reading if you want to watch the show.
Is the show animated?
Yeah, it's an animated show.
It looks kind of neat.
Yeah, I mean,
I saw a little bit of it today, and I was like not the actual, like, whatever. Yeah.
Promo. Hey, Deb. When we take a break, I would like to see it.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome. Then there's also new issues of Amazing Spider-Man, which is in the middle of its 8 Deaths of Spider-Man story arc.
Love that.
Uncanny X-Men, which is I think it'll be the second issue of the raid on Grey Malkin crossover between Uncanny and mainline X-Men. There's a new issue of Transformers, which I think it's the start of a new story arc after the previous one. And then just a couple more Ultimate X-Men. This one's for Aiden. Dazzler.
Yes.
Minor Arcana, that one's for me. Storm, and there's a whole bunch more. There's always comics coming out, so if you have one near you, or if you have one in a place that you visit rarely, buy comics. Especially
reading material.
Yeah, that sounds weird. Anyways, onto the pop culture news, I guess. I won't call it movie news because not all of this is movies, but mostly. The first bit of news I have here is that Don Cheadle is going to star as a part-time jazz musician and full-time killer in the action thriller Canyon. It's written by Derek Kolstad, who also wrote John Wick and Nobody. Oh. So I'm sure it'll be enjoyable. It just depends on the director.
That sounds really interesting.
Yeah, both of those movies like worked because of their director. I'm excited for Nobody 2 that comes out next year. It's wrapped filming already. The director of that is I don't know if I'm gonna say his name right, but it's the guy that the director of Nobody 2 is like a incredible action director. It's crazy.
I'm excited.
So the next bit of news is that Tom Cruise is set to star in the supernatural thriller Deeper from director Doug Liman. The film follows an astronaut on a deep sea dive exploring a newly discovered trench who soon finds himself confronted by a sinister and dangerous force.
Cthulhu.
I don't know about this because here's the thing. Doug Liman is not a very talented filmmaker.
What's in his catalog?
The thing is that sometimes he is. He made Mr. and Mrs. Smith, but the most recent movies he made were the remake of Roadhouse, which isn't as good as the original. I'm not saying it's not fun. I watched it in the car. I had a blast watching it because, I mean, how are you not going to like watching
Roadhouse?
Yeah. It's like Roadhouse, but without the 80s charm of it. And Sam with if you take out Sam Elliott and Patrick Swayze, you lose a lot of charm.
Yeah, but adding Post Malone into it because he was in that movie, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And the most recent movie was a movie from this year called The Instigators. Don't know if you've ever heard of it. I watched it and I can tell you like 3 things. It's got a really good cast, but I'm excited because Tom Cruise elevates everything that he does. So the next bit of news I have is that Anya Taylor-Joy is set to star and executive produce Lucky, a new limited series for Apple TV+. The series follows a young woman who was raised in a life of crime but has left that world behind. However, she must return to her criminal side one more time to escape her past. Dun dun dun. Pretty standard stuff. This sounds like a great movie premise. So I don't know. You're gonna split like 8 episodes of this? I don't know.
I mean, Anya Taylor-Joy is exceptional in pretty much everything she's in, so I'm excited.
Yeah.
This is a bit of a late comment, but Tom Cruise is an astronaut who goes to the sea.
Astronauts do that.
Okay.
Part of NASA is
training.
Okay.
Also, that's part. NASA just does that.
Okay.
It's up and down, I believe.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure because
we'll Google it on our break because that's coming up.
I know NASA's National Aeronautics Science Association or something.
Science Division.
Well, that's a division. So I don't think that's right.
The last bit of news I have before we go into our break is that I Know What You Did Last Summer, the 90s slasher, is getting a requel, as everything from then is. It's going to release next July. I have no idea what the movie's about, and I didn't look at very hard, but Freddie Prinze Jr. and Jennifer Love Hewitt will reprise their roles. I don't know if it's going to be a direct sequel, if it's going to do the Halloween thing, or because I know the characters do come back in the sequel. I think it's called I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. I think Jack Black's in that one. What am I doing here? I don't think I know. This is all fucking true. Sorry, guys. So I don't know. It seems fun. They released a picture, behind the scenes. I'm sure it'll be okay at the very least. It'll be enjoyable. It's coming. I think it might come out the same day as. It either comes out the same day as Fantastic Four or Superman. So I will not be seeing it opening day either way.
I will not be seeing it opening day either. Go ahead.
Let's say I don't know if we want to do this on the podcast or not, but I have some information about NASA and their.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
We'll do it right after the break.
All right, so I'm just going to read you what I see on the first page of Google. As you can see, this is all.
Make sure it's not the AI thing.
I'm not going super in depth with it. It is because
It's the worst.
I don't care.
All I want from Google is that like the box, but now it's like the AI. It's like, actually, here's my AI.
The AI box just gives you the information that the first site gives you anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, Aiden, sorry to derail. I just had to rant. Fuck AI. You didn't have to.
Fuck AI.
All right. So Subsea is a partnership between NASA, NOAA, and the Ocean Exploration Trust. It brings together the worlds of space and ocean exploration. NASA astronauts live in undersea habitat, an undersea habitat called Aquarius. It's a lot of just like research about how oceans work kind of thing, so they can understand how they would possibly work on other planets. And then I think it's also just like isolation training type thing, since you're kind of down there, not really much you can do, kind of like when you're in space.
Do you think it's called Aquarius because when you go there you feel intelligent, creative, innovative, intellectual, altruistic, humanitarian, maybe a little independent, Aquarius and career. Aquarius is negative traits. Google, what the hell are you doing to me?
I don't understand.
I searched up Aquarius star sign traits.
Sorry, yeah.
So here's from sources across the web: Aquarius zodiac signs,
I'm a
colon,
Scorpio.
personality. I'm a Cancer.
You
That's
are
true.
Who are you in?
I'm a Virgo.
Virgo where?
Home.
Virgo broom.
Cargo. Cargo. Meep meep.
All right, so
Next bit
usually
of news.
we've got no news
never
left.
mind.
We're all done with the news, so we can move on to what should be the main topic. But we've sort of run into a bit of a conundrum here because, in case you guys are super excited, we've got a couple brand new movies coming out this week. I'm sure you're super excited. Kraven the Hunter.
Oh my god, I cannot wait. I'm like itching to go see that movie.
And
Not at all.
also
I was
the-
gonna say I don't. Okay, I'm very happy you said it all because I was like, I was gonna be like, Sawyer, he's being sarcastic, right?
here's the thing.
You didn't know either.
I know it's a joke, but Aiden did this for Red One completely normally.
I do want to go watch that movie. I don't think I probably will, just because. Again, like I'm not super hard set on watching either Red One nor Kraven.
Yeah, the theater's expensive.
I'll probably watch it just because I like Kraven and I like going to the movies.
I'm craving something.
I'll probably enjoy the popcorn more than I will the movie.
Okay, here's the thing. I think that the movie will look better than any of the MCU Spider-Man movies, because
Yeah.
Madam Web, while being a bad movie, is looks better, and I'm not just talking about about this with the faces, because my oh my. But anyway, so we don't get sidetracked. There's some really great on location, like legit cinematography there. It's like the movie is shitty, but there's some like actually like legit great cinematography, and like Kraven is all like shot on location, and I'm like, it's not gonna be good, but like I know that the director is at least like capable. Like I don't know. I think it'll be enjoyable. I enjoyed Madam Web. Did I pay attention to it? A little bit.
But
So-
not enough to care.
Not enough to follow Madam Web's own wishes and watch the movie twice in theaters.
No, that wasn't Madam Web. That was Dakota Johnson.
That was just Dakota Johnson. You're right.
But yeah, so we don't really have enough to there's our Kraven talk. in case you were craving that. The other thing that's coming out this week is the animated Lord of the Rings War of Rohan. Did I say that right?
Rohan.
Rohan.
It's just Rohan. The Riders of Rohan. Oh, I guess it was Rohan.
Rohan. Did I say it right the first time then?
Yep.
Yeah, you did.
Look at me fucking go. I'm more excited, more better at this than Macklin is. Tell me I'm wrong.
I am still stuck in the middle of book 2, so I guess technically not book 2, but it's not important. Not important.
It's actually movies. I don't know if you've heard. There's actually 6 movies, and this will be 7. I don't know if you've heard. I've seen all of the Hobbit movies. They're not very good.
They're not. They're enjoyable.
Big dragon.
But yeah,
technically, Cumberbatch is like, I'm a big dragon.
And technically, in a sense, a wyvern in the stereotypical dragon.
The most scientifically plausible type of dragons.
That too.
You guys sound ridiculous.
Yeah. No,
I've never seen any of the movies. Hobbit.
He goes like this. He's like,
I'm Benedict Cumberbatch.
I've got so much gold. You can't take my gold.
But in
who's the guy that plays is it Frodo or Bilbo?
Fuck. Martin Freeman.
Martin Freeman, you can't take any of this. And Martin Freeman's like, okay, and he's like, I'm gonna make a desolation
of Smaug, which is his name. And in it though, he does resemble a wyvern based on like the like basic dragon mythology.
2 wings / arms.
Yeah, exactly. Tail. As opposed to a like dragon, which is 4 legs
that somehow just grew an entire set of limbs.
Yeah, 4
because of dragon. It looks sick as hell.
A dragon looks cool.
Why does the rhino have the horn if it's not because it looks sick as hell?
What?
Maybe? Why does the rhino have the horn if not to look sick as hell?
It's for like defense and offense.
How do you know that the wings don't come from the defense or offense? Same with the fire. Evolution's fucking crazy.
Aiden is questioning his entire existence.
No.
Natural selection.
Why don't we have tails, Aiden?
Because we don't need them.
Why do dragons not need wings?
We stopped needing them thousands of years ago.
Why do dragons started needing wings thousands of years ago?
These are mythological creatures. Why do they need to be beholden to the rules of evolution?
Why would a unicorn have a horn?
Evolution.
Evolution.
We're sending Aiden into an existential crisis.
I don't think any of us have anything to say about Lord of the Rings.
Not a word.
I mean,
I haven't seen any of the Lord of the Rings, and The Hobbit have slipped my mind. Other than
gonna watch them, and then I just didn't because I didn't want to anymore. I just was like, you know what? I'll watch these, and then I just kind of forgot about wanting to watch them.
They genuinely are a lot of fun. If you don't care that much about Lord of the Rings, you still have a fun time watching them because it is like the quintessential fantasy thing.
I don't know if you know this, but the last one won an Oscar. Not
really?
The Hobbit. Won like 20 Oscars. It was
Return of the King?
Yeah, won Best Picture.
That's awesome. If you're going to watch it, watching the extended version is, in my opinion, better just because you get a little bit more bang for your buck. And it's between like 30 minutes to an hour long for each movie. But yeah, it's a lot of fun, and I would highly recommend if you ever want to check it out, check it out.
Like an additional 30 minutes to an hour?
Yeah.
Okay, well
that's why I called the extended edition.
Well, no, but you just said it's 30 minutes to an hour for each movie. I'm like, that doesn't seem like a movie.
Did I say that?
I didn't hear additional.
Okay.
You didn't say additional, but I just assumed that's what you meant.
But that's all I'll say about Lord of the Rings, because you guys don't want to talk about it.
Well, I don't know if it'll be a very interesting conversation with us just dunking on.
It's true. Also, I don't know if
what's up with the Eagles.
There's a lot to unpack there.
What about the Eagles?
Birds. Do you want
how come those eagles were so big? Do you think that they grew in a horn that big because of evolution?
Yeah.
Evolution.
Yeah. Do you want me to actually explain why the eagles couldn't?
I don't care.
Okay.
No, because I've heard that explanation 30 times and it's so old.
Oh, right, because I'm like, I've never heard it. I just never cared to ask. And I don't regularly hang out with Macklin and Clark.
every time that it's brought up, they both just like railroad themselves into that same conversation. And then I hear that they can't do that because it makes heavy no matter what's carrying it. So they wouldn't have been able to get it because it's heavy. So it's bird.
No,
And
we don't,
that or like
okay,
they would have
we
seen
don't-
them coming.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't
It's
matter
a
why they didn't do
tower.
the things. It's because Peter
His
Jackson
tower.
needed another movie. Doesn't matter.
You say Peter Jackson needed another movie. It's in the books.
Okay, sorry. Old guy needed another book. I don't know. I don't care.
Arcade Token just wanted to write some more.
So yeah, so we're sort of at a conundrum. All of that to say, we're sort of flying blind here. We're flying blind. We did talk about the Indiana Jones game. Yeah, so I mean, I don't really know what to talk about, guys. Do we have any sort of feeling? What are we feeling over there?
Well, let's pick what we got from on here.
We haven't added anything to this list of stuff in months.
Yeah, because we were using it for season 2 and season 2.5, but then in season 3 we came up with this whole new formula that's working very well, except in situations like this.
Well, yeah, I think we're handling it really well. So
So too.
yeah.
Oh well, how about this? We have it, and while we're looking for something else, our thoughts on Chappie, because I have watched it finally.
Okay, so here's the thing. Here's a little background on this.
Yeah, you do this. I don't want to get worked up.
Okay, so
To quote
7
the comedy special I watched today, I want to see your blood pressure spike, man.
7 to 8 months ago. When did you watch Chappie?
Way before that. Like,
Okay,
it's
so
probably like a year ago at this point.
7 to 8 months ago, Aiden, he puts Chappie on the list, and he's like, yo, can we watch this movie? Can we talk about this movie? I think it's good. Let's talk about it. So we're all like, okay. So I watched it in April, which is 6 months ago, as of recording and releasing, and Macklin kept going, yeah, I'll watch. He's like, he never really brought, like, we're always like, Macklin, have you watched it yet? And he's like, no, not yet. I'll watch it soon. And Macklin, remind me again when you actually did watch it.
4 months ago.
So that was 4 months after I had seen it. And many months.
No, wait. 4 months ago.
Just what, you can just say the month.
July.
So April, May, June. Yeah, so about 3 or 4 months after I had seen it, and more months than that after Aiden had brought it up. So if we are interested in talking about Chappie, a movie that, like a whole discussion that was, we hope to have months and months ago, we may. Or we can also just let the listeners enjoy that story of that and figure it out after the break. Because
in relation to also Aiden's comment about I want to see your blood pressure spike, we were driving here and there was a bag on the floor, and I drove over and he went,
The road. It was the road.
Sorry, the road, yeah.
it was on the floor.
The
we
floor,
was in the middle
floor
of the
known as the road. And we were
in the
driving
middle.
over.
Just in case I thought it was like in the car.
Yeah, and he literally like he pretty much screamed, and I was like, "What the hell?" I was like, "Oh, I thought you drove over something." Like
I thought it was like a large rabbit because it looked furry.
yeah, but that scared me so much that I almost like torqued the steering wheel and probably ended up in the snowbank again.
all that to say that Aiden is incredibly jumpy.
Boo.
All right, so we've all semi-agreed that we're just kind of, I'm assuming we're just kind of going to go through some of these topics on here.
Sure, just get him out of here.
Yeah, so
Get him out.
I watched a bunch of stuff on Amazon a while back, just as like, I was just kind of scrolling through it. I was like, that looks cool, watch. Oh, that looks cool, watch kind of thing. Just because I was like, why not? So I ended up watching a bunch of interesting things. I watched a movie called 57 Seconds. It's not anything super amazing. Pretty much Josh Hutcherson gets a ring that can transport him back in time 57 seconds. That's the whole gist of the movie. Pretty simple. I enjoyed it. I like Josh Hutcherson. I like Morgan Freeman. He's also in that movie, even though I just forgot his name over the break.
It was really embarrassing. He was like,
was-
"Oh my god, what is his name?"
I'm
We
so
were like,
embarrassed.
"It's Morgan Freeman." He was like, "No, it's not that. It's something else." And we were like, "No, dude, it's Morgan Freeman." He's like, "No, I know it's
think
someone else." He's like, "Oh
Vin
no."
Diesel or something.
And you were like, "Oh no, it is Morgan Freeman. That's so embarrassing." And I was like, "Yeah, Aiden, don't be dumb."
Daniel Radcliffe.
Daniel Radcliffe. But no, I thought it was pretty cool. I liked their time travel mechanics, and it was pretty neat. I like how they could have set it up for a sequel at the end, but they were just like, no. And
The
I
sequel to
appreciate that.
57 seconds. 58 seconds.
Pretty much, they were just
1
like, well,
minute.
you should work with us, and like you can keep traveling back in time and stuff like that. And he's like, no.
Does it really count as traveling back in time if you can only go back less than a minute?
I mean, that is going back in
Technically
time.
Going back in time.
Well, yeah, technically, but is it
57
really?
seconds. You can change a lot in 57
And
seconds.
he did.
Watch
He
this.
saved lives, man.
No. Stopping this before it gets out of hand. See, if you went back at 57
that?
What?
if you went back 57 seconds, then you'd be
So
perfectly.
was that a
57 seconds
Yeah,
from
that-
now, the world is about to die. Okay,
Damn.
if I don't say this. Shit, I forgot. Damn it.
I'm so confused right now.
We got a weird energy going on right now.
I also ended up watching a little series called Upload. It was pretty neat. Basically, if you die, they just upload your consciousness to like a digital afterlife.
That's Robbie Amell, right?
What?
Robbie Amell, the star.
Yep.
Brother, or I think either brother or cousin. Related to Stephen Amell. It's a pretty good show. I watched the first season. I don't even know if I finished it. I think Nace and I watched it. I found it too similar to The Good Place, which I found supremely superior.
Yeah, I do like The Good Place more, which I also started watching recently, but that's not what.
Wonderful show. Wonderful show.
Yeah.
I really look forward to watching Man on the Inside.
Oh
which
my
is-
god, that movie was.
Show.
It's a series. It is so good. I laughed and cried, and it was brilliant.
Everybody say thank you, Mike Schur, who is the showrunner behind that.
Sure.
And
Thank you, Mike. Sure.
yeah, so
if this is for the audience, if you haven't watched A Man on the Inside, watch it now. It'll change your goddamn life.
speaking of Inside Men, you guys should watch Inside Man, Spike Lee's wonderful heist movie starring Clive Owen and Denzel Washington. Oh, what a wonderful film. So basically the synopsis of the film goes as follows. Okay, so a group of robbers led by Clive Owen breaks into a bank and it's gonna stop me. And they're like, we're gonna keep you hostage, and then they're like doing bank vault stuff, and then Denzel comes in, he's like, what's going on? And then Christopher Plummer's like, I'm not a Nazi, I'm Christopher Plummer. Spoilers, by the way. But
Yeah, the movie, it's really good. You don't expect it, but Nazis actually have to like it's a main plot point.
Spoilers. Huge spoilers. It's like a wonderful twist.
Yeah.
Christopher Plummer. Jodie Foster's in it. She's great.
Yeah.
Love
It's a
Jodie
really
Foster.
it's a really well-made movie too.
It's Spike Lee. What do you expect, dude? Hell yeah.
I don't know much. I don't know about Spike Lee. I just know that that's a good
It
movie.
sounds like a kick-ass name.
Yeah, it
He's
is.
a kick-ass director.
Spike
Fair
Lee,
enough.
creator of Inside Man and
What?
other thing.
The do the right thing.
The Black Klansman.
Just called Black
That was a
Klansman.
cool movie.
No,
I actually enjoyed it.
it's a great movie.
I like Adam Driver. He's hilarious.
Come on,
Malcolm
dude.
X.
You watch that movie and you go, Adam Driver? Not fucking John David Washington, dude. He's so good.
I don't know anyone in that movie except for Adam Driver because I've seen him in The Force Awakens and
David
then in the
Washington.
trailer for 65, which is coming onto Netflix like on Sunday.
Did you know that there's dinosaurs in that movie?
Yeah, that's why I wanted
Okay.
to go see it.
Okay, so 65. Fun story about 65.
It's probably terrible.
The directors of that are the ones that made Haunt. Did I bring up Heretic on the show?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, they also directed Heretic.
Okay, so it might not be that bad then. I didn't expect it to be great, and I'm not expecting it to be great, just because I feel like a lot of stuff like that they don't really put effort into, because, you know, everyone's gonna go see Adam Driver in Dinosaurs. It's cool,
It's true.
but feel like no one.
Yeah.
I didn't really hear a lot about it after the trailer came out.
Adam Driver, what a great actor. I enjoy him in everything he does. He's especially exceptional in SNL.
He's funny on SNL. I haven't seen a lot of stuff that he's in. I liked 50% of it.
Yeah.
By that I've seen 2 things that he's in. That's not true. I guess 25% of what I've seen him in. But that'll definitely change as I watch more stuff with him.
Everything I've seen him in, which isn't a lot, haven't seen him in a whole bunch, but I do want to watch more of his movies, like Marriage Story.
Wonderful film.
I've seen the News 3 Star Wars movies.
Yeah,
And
I've seen quite a few of his movies. I do think that he is like generational talent. I'll say it. You know what? Fuck you guys. I'll say it.
Glad you said it. I think he's got a
Wonderful.
lot of talent. In my opinion,
I was going to say it, but that's because I don't know what that means.
he was way too good for what the Star Wars sequels became. He was an excellent villain in it, and he had so much potential. But one of the many blunders in the Star Wars sequels was Kylo Ren as a character, and they wasted Adam Driver, which is a real shame, in my opinion.
You know what they didn't waste?
What?
Rian Johnson, director of Star Wars: The Last Jedi, which is a wonderful film. Great
Enjoy
movie, one of the best Star Wars movies, hands down.
Every
Straight
single time I bring up the sequels in any way, Sawyer has to make it known that The Last Jedi is good.
It is good. It's wonderful, exceptional, even.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm not going to disagree with you just because I didn't like it.
Hey, you're free to disagree with it if you didn't like it.
Yeah, I'm good with it. I don't care.
Well, no, because the thing is, it might be an amazing movie, but the Star Wars movies just aren't for me. I feel like they squander a lot of their opportunities in one of my favorite parts of fantasy world building. So it loses my interest a lot. And I think what makes them great, which are just the things that I just personally don't appreciate, which I'm not going to say is a good or a bad thing. It's just a thing.
What are the things you don't appreciate about it?
I feel personally, as most feelings are, that a lot of the really crazy stuff that they did, and I haven't seen all of them, so take all of my opinions with a grain of salt and tell me when I'm wrong. But I like a lot of their creature design, and I feel like they never really go too in depth in the general world building of the galaxy they're in. They go check out a few planets, but I feel like they're never really they never really explain to you a lot about a lot of things.
See, and that's what I love about the best part for me is the Star Wars is the galaxy that they live in it feels lived in. I started watching Skeleton Crew, which is the new series out.
Is it any good?
It's actually really great. It's John Watts is one of the co-creators, and he directed the first episode. I was mainly checking it out because half of the names that are directing it are huge. David Lowery, who made the Green Knight. I mean, he's made a couple of he made Peter Pan and Wendy, for Disney Plus. So I'm not sure, but he directed a couple episodes. The Daniels from Everything Everywhere All at Once. They directed episode 4, which is out next week as of listening. And it's so much fun. It's all one of the creatures. Do you know the one guy in Jabba's palace? I think it's Jabba's palace, who's blue and he's got big ears and he's got a little trunk.
The little piano man.
Yeah.
Are you talking
Max Rebo? His name's fucking Max Rebo. I swear to God, it's Max Rebo. Search up Max Rebo.
Yeah, correct.
Gulp shit
Good
out.
job.
Yeah.
Max Rebo?
Yeah, piano man.
Yeah.
So there's a character that's species, and he's the most adorable thing. And if anything happens to him, I will cry because he is the best. I love him. He's adorable. Sorry. Anyways, it's super fun. It's the series is there's a lot of
Ortolan is the name of his species.
I don't have any interest in the Borderland movie, but So, the thing that I like about it is when it gets into the nitty gritty of the world, but I don't want it to know. Okay, so Tatooine. Here's the complete geographical location of everything, and here's how every species has evolved, and how dragons have wings in this evolution. It was the same reason that I really liked The Mandalorian when it started. Like the first season is really great until it starts getting into like so the Jedi Order disbanded and here's Luke Skywalker, and actually he's not a great guy because he stole his name's Grogu, and this is Ahsoka Tano. I don't know if you know her, but I made her show, and I'm Dave Filoni. Like, I don't care about that. I don't care. I think it's cool. Laser swords is awesome. But if I'm honest, sometimes all you need is a self-contained like story of just like bunch of dudes, like a bunch of characters.
And that's why Andor has been one of if not the best received Star Wars series since Disney bought Star Wars.
Also, I think Solo is good.
I liked Solo.
I also enjoyed Solo.
And I think that Rogue One is one of the best.
I also liked Rogue One.
So what I'm trying to say here is that you don't always have to do the lore. Sometimes you can introduce a character that has a laser sword and doesn't have to be related to Luke Skywalker. Or it's like, so how did this guy how did he get rid of Order 66? Well, actually, his clones were actually cool, and my clones are cool, and they're fun.
Yeah, I agree with the points you guys are all bringing up because these are all very valid criticisms of Star Wars as a whole. I think the creature designs are very cool, but there's definitely some more world building that could be done with them. I also agree that like the world's actually feeling lived in is something that's like, really well done.
Movies. It's as if they take like when you go to New York City, you don't have to know everything about New York City. But like it's like you go on in Star Wars, you go to Coruscant, and it's like, okay, you're on Coruscant. It's like it's like, this is Coruscant. This is the hub world. This is where all of the Republic takes place. It's like, I don't care about that. Show me fucking space nightclubs and the death sticks.
Yeah.
I liked the how many seasons of Mandalorian are there? It's just
3.
2, right? Oh,
Three. Jack Black's in season 3. I don't know if you know this.
Yeah, he is.
With
Lizzo. It's one of the worst episodes in season 3. The Mandalorian, it kind of goes. First season is like up top. It's great, and then it's a very much downward curve. There's a couple like bumps in it because there's some really great episodes in season 2 and 3.
I liked the episode where the Mandalorian took his helmet off and he was like, Grogu, and he started crying, and it was like, it's me, Pedro Pascal. I've been here the whole time. It wasn't somebody else. It was me. It was me the whole time.
Yeah, but there is definitely like it's very clear downward of quality in the show with a few like subtle bumps because there is some good stuff in there in the later seasons, but season 1 is the undisputed champ of it all because it started off as just a story about a Mandalorian doing his Mandalorian thing. Then when they started bringing in other stuff, it got very tedious.
You cannot give Dave Filoni the reins to a show where a Mandalorian, he's like, well, actually, if you guys watch the Clone Wars, you'll know that Mandalore, the planet that they come from, was taken over by Darth Maul. And so Darth Maul was the wielder of the Darksaber, which was the lightsaber that was used by the first and only Mandalorian Jedi, and it was black because it was cool as hell. And
it's very impressive how accurate this is that he's saying.
I can keep going. I'm not going to.
Yeah, please don't.
I just liked a lot of the first 2 seasons because that's all I've seen. Just the way like Sawyer said, like I don't need like the freaking tree of life for every planet saying this is how this came about, and also this is how everything on this works 100% of the time always. I don't care. But what I think is important is that if you're making something, the fact that it matters, even if it's relatively minuscule, right? And I liked how like when they were going on a planet, like the world wasn't just the backdrop, it was where they were, like that was the setting.
Yeah, the world is alive.
Yeah. Like when they like were like on the ice planet, they fell in the cave and there was like those spider things, right? Like I don't know.
Like that when they went when they're in the Last Jedi and they're on the thing and he like does down and he goes salt.
Right, like that was all that was in that fight. Like in that fight was like Salt Planet. Cool. It's red.
It was sick as hell because they did the thing and it went. Psh,
but like,
and then it was like
to me that's all it did. It was like
Luke
it was a cool
Skywalker.
visual, but I don't care about it.
Yeah, but it's sick as hell. Sometimes all you need is a sick visual.
Let him speak.
Sorry.
Let him cook.
No, that's all I got.
No, keep going.
That's all I got.
Yeah. More if you there's a lot of worlds in Star Wars that feel a lot more alive because there's literally living fauna on those worlds. And in my opinion about Star Wars, it is one of the worst cases of nostalgia baiting in media. So many of the directors, especially Dave Filoni, are so scared to just separate from like everything that has proven to work. And so like if you have a show like Ahsoka's a pre-established character who has ties to the Skywalkers. That's okay doing that. But don't throw her into The Mandalorian or a story like that just because. I had high hopes for The Mandalorian, and Grogu being in it, awesome. But he's clearly just marketability. Once he introduced it, though, and it's like he's a Force-sensitive child, I was like, no, this is not gonna. This is going downhill.
I think it was cool to have like Grogu. Stupid name. I think he's like a cool inclusion. I think that idea is super sick, and I think that like. I like the idea of like, okay, it's a lived-in experience. This guy goes across the galaxy. Maybe he'll run into Ahsoka Tano for an episode. That doesn't mean anything. But when it like he's like, okay, so here's Luke Skywalker, and then it's like, well, here's like Boba Fett. Well, he gets his own show, and also in the middle of the show. Actually, in the middle of the show, we're gonna cut to see what's going on with the baby Yoda, and he's actually going to be training with Luke Skywalker, and then the Mandalorian's gonna show up. The voice hurts my throat to do, but I think it's very funny.
It is quite funny.
Stupid Dave Filoni. Stupid.
He has done good work, but he's too scared with Star Wars.
Kind of backtracking chronologically a bit. Still on the topic of Star Wars. I think... Sorry, that smells really good. What is that?
I have no idea. Emerson's making brownies.
Wow. I just got a whiff of that. That smells really good. In terms of like the not needing everything explained, I think one of the things that kind of turned me off from the or was it like the original trilogy with like Luke Skywalker on the desert planet.
Yeah.
A lot of that was like, yeah, that's cool, but to me, like, it was never explained enough to feel real. And again, like, I don't need everything explained, but some things, like, if you're on a desert planet and you're moisture farming, move to a different planet. Obviously, some people have the capability to do so, or like maybe go to a place where they have like there's a city there, right?
No, I mean, kind of, but not really. It is called Mos Eisley, the something hive of scum and villainy in all the galaxy. Okay. It's basically like a village that is centered around a tavern, pretty much. Yeah. So it's not really a city,
actually.
Yeah, it is a cantina.
It's called the Cantina Band.
It's called Mos Eisley Cantina. And if you watch the Book of Boba Fett, you'll know that actually the Cantina is actually established by. No, just kidding. Yeah.
It is.
That's never. Yeah. I've watched the whole show. It doesn't. They're not even in Mos Eisley. They're in a different place.
Yeah,
I believe
that's called
Mos Espo. No. Mos Espo was the one in Mandalorian. It's whatever. Doesn't much matter.
It's like Macklin's like it's like math almost. What he's doing.
Well, this blaster type is actually inconceivable for this time period.
You're exploring a whole galaxy, and yes, most of the story in a lot of cases takes place in what's known as the Outer Rim. So there's a chance that characters can run into each other, but it's an entire galaxy.
It doesn't
have a story contained.
That's what I'm really liking about Skeleton Crew is that it's completely separate, and it has there's the most recent the second episode, it was a 2-episode premiere, ends with the introduction of Jude Law's character, who is introduced as like, I don't want to spoil anything because this is completely like theorizing. He's introduced as like this force sensitive character who like he's like locked up and he like uses the force to like get a bunch of keys to like to get out of this jail cell. But it's like the world building in the show is really it's actually really interesting. I like, and all of the characters and stuff are really fun. So I had a blast with that. And I think like it is very disconnected, and I hope that it stays disconnected. It's very like pirate.
Yeah, space
section.
pirates.
Yeah, it's and like sometimes that's what you want out of the space. Yeah. You don't need lasers. Mm-hmm. Although one of the characters is like obsessed with Jedis, and I thought that was really funny.
That is really funny.
And there's also Borderlands, the Borderland character, and he's like, I'm Kevin Hart. I mean, no, he's not Kevin. That's the Borderlands movie again. Damn it.
We don't talk about Borderlands.
No. Yeah, so I think that when it comes to Star Wars, it's a
very mixed bag.
Yeah, and that's okay.
And it's okay. It's very, very not for everyone. If you ever want to talk about Star Wars, I will not nerd out because I have been relatively disconnected from it. I still have a very deep connection with it and like to talk about it, but the majority of it is just like I enjoy it. It's a cool world, and some people are way too intense about this. Like, no, this is not right. This is my canon. It's like, shut the fuck up. How about that?
Like,
it's just fun.
Like all of the drama behind the Acolyte, because it was like, actually, there's no way that this can actually be the case because this is a different guy than Dave Filoni, by the way. It's the same voice, but it's different. This is my new character, same voice as Dave Filoni. This is man who's never left his the basement. Actually, why is there a black person? This is Star Wars. What?
Actual complaints that happen in the Acolyte.
I can guarantee that.
And she's a woman.
Yeah, in reality, I didn't check out the Acolyte because I didn't really care about it, and the majority of what I heard, a lot of it was just straight up sexism and racism. But there were actually some criticisms, like it was not well written.
I saw one fight scene where Manny, the guy from The Good Place, the hot guy, he is the bad guy of the series, and there's a fight scene where he like basically takes out like a bunch of Jedi, and he like headbutts I think his helmet must be made out of lightsaber proof material, but he like headbutts a lightsaber at one point, and it's
cool,
great action.
Well, I think we should start wrapping up. Unless closing thoughts
About Star Wars.
Not really about Star Wars, but I think the kind of world building that I always kind of expected from Star Wars was that of which I see in a lot of the new Jurassic franchise stuff, and of that it's explained in a way where it's like not just outright told to you, like examples that you're not going to get. Like when they show up to the Biosyn plant, they're not just like, oh my god, we're at the Biosyn plant in this random island in the middle of the ocean where they're holding specific dinosaurs for genetic testing, right? But like as you're experiencing things, you can kind of put a lot of things together that just make it a whole picture. But whenever I watched a lot of Star Wars things, it felt like as they were explaining to it, they were leaving more holes behind. And I was like, I like that I'm getting more of a picture, but it's just still as fuzzy as it was before.
Yeah. Well, with that, we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to get into our content we've consumed after Sawyer talks about James Bond.
Yes.
All right, and we're back. So, Sawyer, I believe you have a James Bond thing to talk about?
Yes, this is the time that I would usually do my segment where I tell you guys about the segment Sawyer watches all of the James Bond movies and tells you if they're good or not. So, dark news, sad times, with a good ending. This week, Amazon Prime, despite owning the rights to all of the James Bond movies, removed them from their streaming service. Very suspicious. Amazon owns the rights to Amazon or to MGM Studios, which is the studio that
Amazon owns the rights to Amazon.
Sorry, it's called Amazon MGM Studios now, so that's it's just ingrained in my brain like that. So for whatever reason, they own the rights, like it's theirs. I don't know why they're taking it off their streaming service other than to get money. Fuck you, Jeff Bezos.
Yeah, continue.
But so I didn't have a chance to see any of the James Bond movies. My next watch will be Diamonds Are Forever, which is the second last Sean Connery movie. The last one in this series. I think next it's Roger Moore. So I'm super excited. Roger Moore's, you get a little bit more fantastical. I'm not sure how it's going to be, but I have an open mind, so I don't have anything to report. James Bond, but come back next week. I did purchase the 24 film box set that has almost all of the movies other than the Casino Royale movie I talked about last week, and the I think it doesn't have the movie where Sean Connery comes back, but I don't have the exact all of them in there, and it also doesn't have No Time to Die. So those are just missing a couple, but I am now in possession of most of the James Bond movies, so I won't have to worry about where they are streaming or anything like that. So that's my update about James Bond. Sad days, but next week there will be happy days. So, a little voice crack. I think that now we can move past this and on to the content that we've consumed.
All right, let's go first.
I guess I can go first.
Sounds good.
Just a little peek behind the curtain here. We recorded the last week's episode on Thursday, and now we're recording this on Tuesday. So the turnaround wasn't huge, and the weekend was a little bit busy. It was Black Friday shopping and like all over the place. So it was like didn't do a lot of consuming of content, like all that kind of stuff. But last week, last week as of recording will be 2 weeks since 2 weeks ago as of listening, and I picked up a bunch of comics, so I just wanted to go through some of them and just say, like, just to talk about them. The first is the first issue of Justice League Unlimited. I talked about this a few weeks ago. It's Mark Waid and Dan Mora. It's the return of the Justice League. They've been gone for a few years now. It's a really, really wonderful book. It's the first in an ongoing series. I had a blast just seeing all of the heroes together. It's like a huge cast of characters. Exactly what I wanted. Really, really great. Next thing, Superman issue 20 by Joshua Williamson and Dan Mora. It's a continuation of this story arc where Doomsday comes back and he's like, it deals with time travel and aliens and a whole bunch of stuff, but it's really, really great. I had a blast. I'm really looking forward to the next issue because this sets up a whole bunch of stuff. Next one, I have Iron Man 2 by Spencer Ackerman and Julius Ota. It's the second part in the Stark-Roxanne War. It's the real debut of Iron Man's new armor that's low tech. And it's also, spoiler alert for the end of the book, but he does get his big ass sword and it's sick as hell. The book the setup for the sword is so sick. It builds throughout it's huge. It's really great. I actually pulled this series, so I'll be getting the rest of it. I'm very excited. Next, we have Hyde Street issue number 2 by Jeff Johns and Yvonne Reyes. This is it's pretty much an anthology series about different people in this. It's a street that you don't want to walk down. It's a bunch of evil souls trying to capture even more evil souls. This issue is centered around this character of he's like a young kid who's
a Boy Scout.
Yeah, Boy Scout. It's a really, really great issue. I fucking loved it. I've really liked this series so far.
Nice.
It's Yeah, I've been very surprised by the both Hyde Street, and then also if you guys want to check out Rockefellers from
Rockefeller Center.
Peter Tomasi.
That's what
and
I thought when I heard the name too.
yeah, it's Peter Tomasi and oh my god, it's my favorite. It's my fucking favorite artist.
Steve.
Sawyer's having an existential crisis right now.
Francis Manipul. It's another in this world. World. It's called Ghost Machine. It's really, really great. Anyways, the next actual issue.
The name I struggled with Morgan Freeman.
That's the kind of shit I know. Is like, this is an off topic, but I asked my sister the other day. I was watching a movie, and Emerson was there, and I recognized the name in the credits of this movie, and I went, "What kind of nerd do you have to be to have a favorite colorist in comic books and to recognize the costume designer in a movie, the names?" And she went, "A really big one," and I went, "Yeah."
He went.
No, I was like, "Yeah, I know." So back to where I was. The next is Nightwing issue 120 from Dan Waters and Dexter Soy. It's once again continuation of the story arc from the last issue. I wasn't sure because the last run, Tom Taylor and Bruto Ronaldo's run was really, really great, and I really loved it, and it cemented my love of the character of Nightwing. But this is really like the characterization of especially Nightwing and Barbara Gordon is really, really great. So I've been really loving it. And last but not least is Absolute Wonder Woman #2. This is the Absolute series that I'm the least. This is from Kelly Thompson and Hayden Sherman, because I'm going to credit the creators. And this is the Absolute title that I'm the least excited for. But this issue really cemented my enjoyment of this series. It's like it's really, really fun. You get Absolute Steve Trevor, and this week, which is tomorrow. Tomorrow, as of recording, which is last week. As of when you guys will be listening to this, assuming you're listening to it the day it releases, the second issue of Absolute Superman comes out, and I'm very, very excited. So that's really what I've been consuming. My wallet isn't very happy with the amount of comics that I indulge in, but my heart and my brain are very happy, so I won't be slowing down anytime soon.
Nice. Aiden, do you want to go next or do you want me to go next?
You can go.
Okay. The content I have consumed is a show on Netflix called Arcane. The show just recently had its second season.
Lol. This is a League of Legends.
Yeah, it is League of Legends. It just had its second season. It wrapped up 2 weeks ago as of release. It's a very well-written show. There are a few shortcomings I want to address, and I'm not going to go into spoilers. Yes?
And they were both girls.
Yes, there is a lesbian couple in it.
Wow.
A vast majority of the characters in it are gay, which is kind of funny. Yes, Aiden. Continue your sentence.
Aiden, let me do my Aiden impression. I should watch this show. That's my impression of Aiden. I should watch this show. Is that what you're gonna say?
Don't move my shoulders that much.
I needed to move the shoulders to do the voice. Okay, it wasn't.
Hey,
it was
I'm
an
Robert
audit.
De Niro.
That was a How to Train Your Dragon 2 reference for those who can't see.
It was an auditory impression, and it wasn't very good. Anyways, continue talking about Arcane.
The show, while it is well written, it's unfortunately poorly paced in a lot of scenarios because the people who made it only gave themselves 2 seasons to tell the story they wanted to tell. And so there's only 9 episodes a season. The first season, the first 3 episodes, you're in the past and you're learning about the history of these characters. And then for the rest of it, you're in the present, and they're doing their thing. That being said, the episodes are about 50 minutes long each, so it's almost 9 hours of content. So it's not bad, but the show heavily suffers from not getting a chance to explore some of the things a bit deeper. I will go slightly into spoilers, but it's nothing huge.
Spoiler, arcane spoilers.
In the show, in season 2, a character gets introduced, a child, like I think she's like 8 years old or something, and she follows
normal child age.
Yeah, she follows one of the main characters, and I was like, oh, cool. And a lot of people got attached to her, and I can understand why. But as soon as she came on screen, I was like, she's gonna die.
Not very good for a child.
Yeah.
Did Macklin just threaten that TV show character?
No.
That child must die.
I didn't say must, but as soon as she came on,
I didn't say must.
Macklin becoming a show writer just so they can change this character's fate.
No, but I was proven right because later on, that
Holy
character
shit.
dies by sacrificing itself in an emotional way.
Itself?
Itself, yeah. Herself, sorry. Sacrifices herself in an emotional way, in an emotional scene. But I found it to be nice because of it's a sacrifice and it's a child and there was a bonding thing there.
I thought it was nice too because of the child dying.
But
joke.
It just suffers from the fact that the kid was introduced at the start of the season. 6 episodes in, they kill her off, and it's like I said. As soon as I saw it, I knew she was gonna get killed off. So it loses its impact because I'm like, you just introduced this character to kill her off. Not like there's so much more you could have done with her, but again, it's just they ran out of time because they didn't make any more seasons. And there's like you follow 10 different characters in the show, and it's a lot, and not every character gets an ample amount or equal amount of screen time. There's this one character named Echo who is a personal favorite and a fan favorite overall. But he is like he ends up being like the main, like the big hero of the show.
Big hero of the show.
But he doesn't get as much development as someone who ends up being the big hero should, which is a shame. Overall, I would say if you're at all interested, if you're even morbidly curious about the show, watch it. It's very good. There's some good stuff. I got emotionally attached to one of the characters, and I was very sad when he died. And then he came back and died again, and then he came back again and died again. But it is a well-written show, very well animated as well. So if you want to check it out, I highly recommend it. It's on Netflix. It's probably going to stay there for until the heat death of the universe because it's a Netflix original.
Yeah. I don't know, man. You ever heard of Hush by Mike Flanagan?
No.
That was a Netflix original.
I did hear that. Yeah.
It was unwatchable for like 5 years. Now you can find it. Cool. It's on Shudder. It's also got its release. Anyways.
But yeah, Arcane. I'd recommend anyone who wants to check it out on Netflix. But it had some shortcomings, definitely. Aiden.
All right. So I just recently watched all 4 seasons of Stranger Things. Not in one sitting, thank God. I don't think I could do that. That's way too much.
If you watched the entirety of season 4 in one sitting, you'd be like 80. Season's so fucking long. It's like every episode is like an hour and a half.
10 episodes of hour-long episodes. It's a lot.
Too long. I'll say it. Too long.
But yeah, I actually quite like the show. I don't know a lot about like community opinions about it, but from what I did hear a lot, like when it was coming out, I feel like it was hated a lot, and I don't think it deserved as much hate as it got.
It was like widely received very positively. Season 2 is the least well received. Rightfully
I think
so.
season 2 is the worst out of all of them. I don't think it's terrible, but I don't think it's the best.
Season 3 is pretty good.
I liked season 3 quite a lot.
They're doing the mall, and they're like, we're in the mall, and they're like,
It was the most colorful, and it had the most visually appealing villain out of all of the seasons. The giant meat monster looked really cool, guys. But no, I think I like the show. They're coming out with one more season, I think at the end of 2025. So that's pretty cool.
I'm excited to see 20-year-olds play teenagers.
Well, fun fact, they'll probably be playing 20-year-olds because they age in the show.
Oh, cool.
Fun fact, time passes. Much time. Which is something I feel like a lot of shows are really dumb about. Like, I don't think... Like, it's so stupid.
And some comics. Let Spider-Man grow up.
True.
Let every single superhero age. Batman should be married. If DC, Batwoman too. Batwoman and Renee Montoya should have gotten married. Batman, here's what should have happened.
Batman Beyond.
Batman and Catwoman should have gotten married because after the marriage failed, though there was some good stuff from Tom King. Volume 6 of right after is the 12 Angry Men thing, and it's really, really good. Basically, Bruce Wayne has jury duty, and he's like, no, he argues for non-guilty, even though everybody's like, no, it's just guilty. He like argues against Batman, pretty much. It's really, really great. But just imagine how great it would be. Issue 50, they get married. Issue 50, they break off the wedding. And spoilers for the first comics that came out 10 years ago. And then, not actually, but, and then issue like, the series was about 100 issues long. I said this for years. Issue 50, they get married. Issue 100, Catwoman gives birth. Now there's a new addition to the Bat family, and you just you get Damian Damian Wayne ages up a bit. You get a new family dynamic, really interesting. No, actually, what if here's this fucking voice again. This is my impression of DC editor Dan DiDio, who's no longer with the company. What if we actually shot Nightwing and then he wasn't Nightwing anymore? Sorry. What if Batman? What if they didn't get married? Anyway, sorry, Aiden. Continue talking about Stranger Things. I derailed it a lot. That's my bad.
Yeah, that's all right.
I mean, that's my bad because I was the one who brought it up. Continue.
I was the one who aggravated it, so.
No, I enjoyed watching the show. I think season 1 was really cool. I think it did something pretty unique. Season 2 kind of picked it up in an interesting spot. I think it was a necessary season kind of thing, which was cool. I liked it, but I think it could have been better. Season 3, I think, was probably the strongest of all of them. I think it just had the most interesting story and, the coolest visuals.
Lego Max Rebo.
And season 4 was really cool. I liked it a lot, but I feel like it divided the party too much. Usually, there's, 2 groups of people. It's, the kids and the adults or something like that. And, I feel like there has been, 3 groups of people. But because it was, the first season that was international, I feel like it just made that so much more, amplified. But it was still good. It was really, really cool. They really didn't hold back in season 4. No one was really safe, and I think that was probably what made it as good as it was. Is obviously there's a degree of plot armor, but
Quick question. I completely agree with what you're saying. How many of the main cast died?
None. But one does definitely basically almost die.
David Harbour?
No.
Oh.
He does survive. He dodged the explosion at the end of the 3rd season and was captured by Russians and brought back to a Russian prison.
As you do.
Like you do.
But no, at the end of... Spoilers, by the way. At the end of season 4, the character that was introduced in the 2nd season, Max, is attacked by the main villain and gets both arms and both legs broken. And her eyes almost get sucked into the back of her head, but she just goes blind. And then they manage to save her by burning the bad guy. So then she kind of died. They say that her heart stopped beating for a minute, but she's not dead. She's in a coma, basically. But we don't know if she'll wake up.
She didn't see that one coming. Sorry.
That was pretty good, actually. I like that a lot.
Thank you very much. I'll be here all week.
That's all I got about that.
All right. Well, with that,
I'll let you guys know about my opinions on the final season when it comes out.
Well, with that, we'll wrap things up. I'm Macklin.
I'm gonna go home and have some grilled cheese sandwiches.
And I'm Sawyer.
We are the Wizards 3. Thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you all next time.
Bye.
Thank you so very much for listening to that episode. Now, if you care to stick around, we've got a quick little self-promotional sketch. I promise it's not going to be 10 minutes like last time.
So before we begin, I just want you guys to know that this takes place between seasons 1 and 2. So just in case you guys are wondering.
Of the podcast.
Yes, of the podcast. So let us begin. Hello, Sir Macklin, Sir Aiden.
Good afternoon, Sir Sawyer.
It is my duty as the
Duty.
It's my duty as the cardinal of this podcast. What's
Yeah, Cardinal. He was Cardinal works.
whatever.
Yeah.
As the
The
cardinal
dudes
of
in
the
red robes.
Yeah, we're all sort of cardinals of
We
the
are
podcast.
Cardinals, yes.
But I'm like the head. I'm
You're the head of this part of the podcast we are
Yes.
currently in.
So, it is my
This
duty
place.
to inform you of the tragic loss of Cardinal Clark. He is so he's not dead. He just is no longer able to record. His vocal cords got removed in a tragic
welcome.
accident.
That's
He was
horrible.
in for
Accident.
he was at the dentist, and an alligator got in, and we're not going to get into
hate those. I hate those European gators.
I know, it's crazy. But anyways, we must convene the rest of the wizards to appoint a new third chair.
And that is all of us, minus your dad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, everybody that is a listener who has been and who, especially the people that have been guests,
Of course.
Lisa, Grace, everybody that'll.
Yeah.
So, what we have a few options. So, I'm nominating myself. So, it's gonna be like a democratic thing. Whoever gets the majority of votes, you know how it works.
Of
You know how it
course,
works.
yeah, yep.
This isn't our first rodeo here. We don't want to talk about Steve.
Yep.
Yeah, not after
Yeah.
the accident.
Yeah.
So
I am Steve.
we're all Steve, man.
In our
Anyways, so I think who do you guys want to who do you want to put forth as the options?
I will put forth Aiden.
I would like to put forth Joe Rogan.
Of the Joe Rogan Experience?
Yeah.
My God. Also, why would you put forth Aiden? He's already one of the chairs. He doesn't need a
that's
second
fair.
chair.
That's right. You put yourself forward.
Yeah, but I'm not part of the Wizards.
Remember, Magnum, this takes place.
Oh, right.
before
Yeah, my
season
bad.
2.
My bad.
I'm not a wizard yet.
Sorry. Yeah. Sorry. I
Real
would put,
metagaming
yeah,
moment.
just quickly rewind. I would put my vote in for Sawyer.
Okay, so you're gonna vote for me. Who are you gonna vote for?
I'll also vote for you.
Oh, thanks, guys. Well, we just have to convince the rest of them out there.
Well,
I run in case when I become if I become the wizard, I will run on a platform of the Instagram and Twitter. They must be at the Wizards 3 and at the Wizards 3 podcast. The memes will be funny, the funniest they've ever been, because in a dark time that we are living in, it is important that we. These guys, this Joe Rogan guy, these other Cardinals of the Wizards 3, they don't know the trenches that I do. The YouTube at the Wizards 3, where you can find the episodes of the podcast where you might be listening to this. Shout out to you, listener. VODs of Aiden doing gaming in the future. And eventually Sawyer's Film School, which
Isn't even an idea yet.
well, it's an idea in my head, and I will make it happen. It will happen if I am the third chair.
Now,
There must be a link tree established that will be in the description of this episode.
now I know we were going for more.
Must be a Twitch where Aiden can do his gaming without.
Can you
What's up?
say one thing for me, please? Make the Wizards 3 great again.
I will do no such thing because that is a stupid slogan. All I'm saying is that this podcast deserves greatness, and the likes of the Joe Rogans and
You can't say that one that doesn't exist yet.
well, she's still here somehow. None of us know who the girl in the corner is, but I'm sure that eventually we'll figure it out.
She's a cosmic being.
Like Stan Lee, like
Like
communing
Steve.
with the Watchers.
New Steve.
I'm Steve. As a child, I yearned for the.
Who are
What is
you?
that even referencing?
Sorry, I don't know. Sorry, I just like
Steve,
to say
get out.
words sometimes.
New Steve, leave.
It
It doesn't matter if you vote for me. All I need to know is that this podcast and its plugs will continue to be incredible, and the third chair will be filled by someone who deserves this job.
Well, I will say that was a very great speech. Don't you? What do you think, Aiden? What do you think of the speech?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty great when you weren't talking.
Yeah. But also, a little secret. We're the only two who really matter in this one. So as long as
Oh, yeah,
we
I
want you
forgot.
both on here, you'll get on. So Aiden, what do you think?
A twile.
Aiden, what do you think?
Well, you say what your vote is.
I'm voting for Sawyer.
I'm also going to vote for Sawyer.
All right. Well.
And if he dies, I'm going to vote for Joe Rogan.
Okay. Well, welcome to the podcast, my
I
friend.
sure hope I don't have to. I'm not dying anytime soon. Wink.
I am Steve. I am going to.
We told you to leave, New Steve.